Good evening. It closes businesses down and the bailiffs come. That's the reality of the financial situation facing thousands of hospitality businesses across the region. Almost 30% of workers here in the West Midlands are employed in the nighttime economy, including theatres, restaurants and clubs. But financial pressures are increasing. In the pub sector, for example, energy bills will rise by nearly £18,500 a year from this month. And the Nighttime Industries Association predict a quarter of cultural venues will close in the next 6 months. One man's been tasked with helping to reverse that decline. We'll hear from him shortly. Emma Thomas has been speaking to some business owners about how they're going to survive.
The views from the 24th floor on Birmingham's Colmore Row reach across the second city and beyond. The skies today were cloudy, perhaps a meteorological metaphor for the challenges of seeing into the financial distance for hospitality businesses, who in recent years have weathered storm after storm. Since Orel opened last autumn, the restaurant is successful, but diner data shows that the consequences of the pandemic remain.
I think it's because of the lifestyle change and how more kind of guests are working from home. So we have noticed that at the beginning of the week it kind of drops off, and maybe on a Friday. But I mean, it's still strong, but of course we could use more support in that sense, and maybe working with a campaign to bring more people back.
The team here are positive about consumer appetite. However, elsewhere there is concern about the consequences of current crises, both energy and cost of living. The Nighttime Industries Association predicts that a quarter of businesses within their remit will close within the next 6 months. The success of the nighttime economy is also crucial to a healthy employment rate here in the West Midlands, as currently in the region 29% of people employed have jobs in this sector. HMV Empire in Coventry opened in 2021 as coronavirus restrictions lifted. The investment in a city centre location is hoped to be an anchor for the nighttime economy. But across the country, one independent music venue closes down every week. So the team here know their priorities for the new advisor, in the hope that they don't become a statistic.
I think the first thing they need to look at is business rates. Antiquated formula, how it's worked. It doesn't suit today's shopping habits or going out, hospitality. That really needs to be looked at, because that's a massive cost that comes out of most businesses, and it closes businesses down. You know, bailiffs can come and knock your door and take all your kit, and before you know it, you're an empty shell.
Massive is no overstatement. The venue's business rates stand at £97,000 a year. The price of beer has risen by £20 a barrel, not to mention the unit price of electricity to power the lights and speakers. This is a business like so many in the Midlands, watching profit margins shrink, but keeping the doors open to keep the spirit of society alive in cities and towns after dark. Emma Thomas, BBC Midlands Today.
Well, as we heard in that report, a nighttime economy advisor has been appointed by the West Midlands Combined Authority. Alex Claridge is a restaurant owner in Birmingham, so is all too well aware of the current crisis. Emma went to see how he's approaching his new role.
There's plenty to be getting on with. I think it's, something where all I'll be able to do is try and move this forward and, establish a role that works and that adds value to everyone who operates in that sector and does good. I don't think it's a job where there's ever going to be a finish line, let's put it that way. People are always going to want to go out and, enjoy themselves and relax and enjoy, great food, drink and experiences. That's not going to change.
Coming off the back of a number of lockdowns, cost of living crisis for customers, and now energy bill crisis for businesses, of those, which is the biggest challenge?
That balance between wanting to see a modern sector that, that provides great employment opportunities, but also, the rising costs of employing staff and making sure that they're paid well, which is not up for debate. That's how it should be. I think there is real risk of significant business failure over, the next 12 months. There is a very real discussion to be had around bringing our VAT rate for, huge swathes of this particular sector in line with Europe.
So you think a change to the tax structure could help?
some positive recovery immediately out of the pandemic was because there was a temporary cut in VAT rates. We wish to have a reason to get through the work week and, you know, places that animate our evenings and make our weekends fun and allow people to come back together, which I think people understand more than ever, you know, because after 2 years of not being able to do that, I don't know about you, but it was, you know, truly, you know, a real moment being able to go, you know, go to the pub or, you know, go to a restaurant and see people and connect and be around people. But if we don't want to lose that, we're going to have to do something.